Hi guys, going to be making a couple batches of my salt bars today. This first one is my Sun and Sand, and it is an invigorating scent, kind of a lemony citrus with notes of ozone, amber, musk, and it just has a nice powdery finish. It's a really nice scent. So we are going to get started. Just get my gloves on. Now, salt bars are or as they are also known, a spa bar is a really nice bar. So it's cleansing yet moisturizing. The salt in it has kind of an exfoliating action to it, but it's not harsh on the skin. I do super fat it. Because I use a lot of coconut oil in this, but it's great. You have any minor skin issues, not making any claims, but I have been told that it helps with those. So now I've got my oils and my fragrance oil in. I'm going to go ahead and add my lye water. Now salt bars, they do tend to harden really quickly. I've been able to cut my bars even as quickly as a couple of hours after I have poured. So we're going to go ahead and just get a slight emulsification, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our salt with a whisk, and I am going to do a little bit of coloring. Just a little bit of titanium dioxide to the base with a little bit of yellow and just a hint in a small portion of brown. This fragrance is from Essentials Depot, and I really like it. Just a nice bright lemony type fragrance, again with those hints of ozone, amber, musk. It's really a nice unisex type fragrance. Just want to make sure everything's incorporated, and again I'm soaping at room temperature. I just find it gives me a little time to work, and also with the salt bar, like I say, once we add that salt, it does tend to move a little quicker. It heats up. I've never had a problem with it. It's just that, you know, sometimes if you, and I am going to do a loaf, if you let it harden too long, it's going to be hard to cut. So we'll go ahead and just give it a little more. Make sure it's emulsified, and then I'm going to split a little bit off after I add the salt, and we'll get it poured really quickly. Nothing fancy, just get a couple little swirls in there. Okay. We have our salt, and this is just sea salt. Do not use dead sea salt. I have been told, I've never tried it, but I have been told that when you do that, it tends to weep. It continues to weep. It can weep a little bit with sea salt. You can really use just about any kind of salt. Some people use pink Himalayan salt. I find the sea salt is really nice. But if you use dead sea salt, the extra minerals in it tend to make it continue to weep and doesn't make for a nice bar. Just going to split out a little bit, just a tiny little bit for the brown because I don't want to get too crazy with that. It's just an accent color. And we have yellow. keep it bright and sunny. And a hint of titanium dioxide for the base. Just move this off to the side. And just a little bit, like I say, of that light brown, just kind of a hint at a sand type setting. And just a nice lemon yellow. I think, in fact, that might be a little bright. It's just there we go. Okay. Clean off my stick blender. So we're gonna do the second batch. Let's get a little bit of that base in there. And some yellow. And again, a little more base. And I'm going to just add a little bit of my brown in there. More white. And the yellow. A little more white. And I am just going to give it just a little bit to thicken up just a tad, because with the added salt, of course, you're adding volume to your mold. So you do have to remember that while it's not going to exactly double your batch or anything like that, it is going to add a little bit more, and because I am soaking at room temperature to give myself a little more time, it is a little thin. I don't want my mold to overflow. So I'll give it just a minute to thicken up a little, and I'll be back to finish it off. But first, I think we'll work, just add a little swirl in here. Okay, just give that just a little bit to thicken up. So I'll be back in just a moment to finish it off. Okay, so we're back to finish off our Sun and Sand salt bar. And it's just thickened up a bit. Just want to drizzle over the top randomly. Like I always say, the only kind of happy soaping accidents we want to have is a wonderful, fun new pattern in our swirls when we get finished. Because you need to remember that in this state, this soap is still very caustic until it cures out. That's why we use the gloves, the goggles, and when we mix our lye solution, we use a mask. Okay. And let's see what we can do here. And again, by soaping a little more towards the room temperature, using a full water discount, or I should say full water, it's going to give you more time with the soap bar for the salt bar. Because I let it set for a little bit, I'm able to add a little more to my mold now because it has thickened up and it's starting to set in the mold. If I had tried to put all of this in right away, it would have overflowed. My white is still a little on the thin side. Okay. Okay, one little last bit of fun, and then we will call it good. And this is our Sun and Sand salt bar. Probably be ready to cut, I'd say in a few hours. But we'll be back in a few for our next soap video. We're going to do another salt bar in another fragrance. And we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.